Aspen Dental, probably the most recognizable dental support organization brand here in the US, have some financial data that I want to report with you guys and talk about some of the things that I think are very interesting, and also extrapolate some data that maybe is going to affect the industry at large. So dating back to 2022, S&P Global Ratings downgraded Aspen Dental Management Inc. from a B to a B minus, citing increased leverage due to weak performance in its urgent care segment, specifically WellNow. So Aspen acquired WellNow back in 2016. They acquired another urgent care facility in 2022 that had about 120 locations. I find it very interesting that they doubled down on this sector that was already causing them financial burden. So it to me is never a good sign when you're trying to buy market share. It is very difficult to actually increase profitability of businesses that you're acquiring. Now, at least they were already in this space, so it wasn't like they were getting into a sector that they had no experience in. However, I would argue still Aspen's core competency is dentistry, not urgent care. So I find that very interesting that they doubled down into the urgent care setting when it has been part of the things that has been dragging down the balance sheet. As we drive down more, I want to highlight really what a B minus stands for, because again, a B minus doesn't sound that bad. When you're going through school, B minus, it's like, okay, well, I'm at least passing, right? In the financial realm, that the B minus is significant, and because of its significance, it is going to increase the corporate borrowing costs. They are technically a B3, which is similar to the B minus, which puts them at a junk bond status. I'm gonna go through here and highlight some of the specific financial acumen behind this, but just know Aspen Dental is technically junk bond status and has been since mid-2022. That made my mind blow this morning when reading that. Again, they are one of the behemoths in the industry. So Aspen Dental Management Inc. currently holds a B minus rating from the S&P Global Ratings. In November of 2022, S&P revised ADMI's outlook from stable to negative. So again, continues to tread in the wrong direction. Additionally, in August 2022, Moody's downgraded ADMI's corporate family rating to a B3. That B3 is what we talked about earlier. That is what technically puts them at junk bond status. So I will go through here and highlight what that means. So a corporate family rating, CFR, of B3 is a credit rating assigned by Moody's Investor Service. Here's what it signifies. So a B3 rating is a high credit risk. B3 rating indicates that the company is considered to have speculative credit quality and faces significant risks in meeting its financial commitments. It is 6 notches below an investment grade rating and falls into the non-investment grade or junk bond category. The speculative nature, the rating suggests the company has weak financial position and is highly vulnerable to adverse business or economic conditions. While the company may be able to meet its debt obligations in the short term, it could struggle to face it could struggle in some headwinds that are coming downstream. Moody's rating scale. Ratings in the B category indicate speculative elements, but the 3 subscript signals that the weakest standing within the category. It descends in order of creditworthiness: B1, B2, B3. You want to be in the A's. It starts in the A's, but once you get into the B's, B3 is the lowest category of the corporate family rating from Moody's. And the implications. We'll wrap up this video with the implications because they are significant. Higher borrowing costs. Companies with a B3 rating often have to pay higher interest rates on their debt due to perceived risk, 100%. Investor perception. The rating may deter risk-averse investors and attract only those willing to take on higher risk in exchange for higher returns. So borrowing costs. It's tough. These feedback loops can be brutal. You're already struggling financially, and then you have to increase your debt obligations through higher borrowing costs, which again puts more strain back on the business. So it's a feedback loop that can be very difficult to get out of, and it's just fascinating to me that it's happening to the Aspen Group and ADMI, just because again they are one of the absolute juggernauts of the DSO space. So in summary, a B3 CFR signals financially strained company operating under speculative credit conditions with heightened sensitivity to unfavorable market conditions. That's not a place you want to be. So comment down below. Let me know what jumps off the page at you guys. How are you going to take some of this information back to your office and try and extrapolate some value from it? To me, one of the things that really jumps off the page is everybody is struggling in this new fixed expense and wage expense environment. Commercial insurance companies refuse to increase their fee schedules, so everybody is in an efficiency game. At some point, you can only be so efficient while still providing quality care. Some would argue Aspen does, some would argue they don't. But from a sheer quality perspective, there are only so many efficiencies you can put into a dental practice without sacrificing care at the end of the day. So comment down below with your guys' comments. Again, to me, the other thing is not only is this showing the difficulty of operating in the dental space right now, but it also really highlights sticking to your core competencies. Them with Clear Choice Dental Implant Centers, with Well Now and Chapter Aesthetic Studio, yeah, their footprint keeps building, their revenue keeps increasing. But if their costs are outpacing the revenue, it's bad math. So hope everybody has a wonderful start to their 2025. Figured you guys would find some of this information insightful, at least I did, knowing that Aspen Dental Management Inc. is not in a financially stable place right now, and it's going to be interesting to see how the company tries to navigate these waters here in 2025.